Sana.
Thank you so much, Your Holiness. It brings me great happiness to introduce Dr. Ashley Potvin for our next question. She's a researcher and an educator in the Crown Institute at the University of Colorado Boulder on our Compassion and Dignity team, along with Professor Bill Penuel and Dean Kathy Schultz. And she also is a former middle and high school teacher.
Your Holiness, it's so special to be speaking with you today. When I was a classroom teacher, I experienced many joys, as teaching can be really such a fulfilling job. But teaching can also be quite challenging, and we know that educators today are often overwhelmed and at risk of burnout, especially in the current context of the pandemic. So much has been asked of teachers, and in many places, the work of teachers is not highly valued. Your Holiness, my question is, as people who are dedicated to service, how can teachers also be compassionate and kind with themselves? How do we help those around us learn the importance of self-kindness too, especially when the demands on them are so great?
Yes, now this also, you see, teacher, carry their work, teaching student with a sense of compassion, sense of concern about the student. Then eventually the relation between teacher and the student becomes something very close. So, as I briefly mentioned, you see, every human activities with sense of compassion, closeness feeling, any human activities become meaningful. So, teachers also, you see, should develop genuine sense of concern or compassion towards the student. Then, days, weeks, months, the student also appreciate the teacher's real feeling, the sense of responsibility to teach student with sense of also the real concern. They taking consider the rest of the student's life, not just lesson, with sense of compassion, genuine concern. Then relation between teacher, student truly becomes something human way and something very close. I feel that. Okay. Now next.
Your Holiness, our next question comes from Professor Manuel Espinoza from the University of Colorado, Denver.
As a child of God, I greet you. Peace and grace unto you. My team and I, including young people at the Right to Learn Dignity Lab, study the ways that dignity is both insulted and affirmed in public education. Your Holiness, as you know, dignity is inherent in the human, but the growth of one's personal sense of dignity requires experiences. As humans, we must feel dignity to understand that we carry it wherever we go, even if the society in which we live does not recognize it. We are currently working to amend our state's constitution so that all schools can become places where education is in harmony with the dignity of the human person. However, there are challenges. So, my question is, how can we help our society learn to become defenders of the human right to dignity in education?
I think in the past, you see, kings, queens, and also dictators, see, they just use power. Now we totally sort of dedicated democracy. Everything come election. So for election, popularity is the key factor. So now today's world, democratic sort of world, and also on top of that, socialist sort of idea, thinking the rest of the people, and including poor people. So if you sincerely implement these ideas with sense of compassion, then your popular automatically increase. So more sort of any, or say, including education or business work or even if the politics, if you really carry your activities with sense of concern of people's well-being sincerely, seriously, then your own popularity automatically increase. And these very much related with selfish, I want, not that way. How can I make contribution for better society, happy humanity, happy world? You sincerely dedicated that and carry your work, and then popular automatically increase, isn't it? Okay. Then next.
Your Holiness, we turn now to a question from Jovita Schiffer, who is the Extended Learning and Community Programs Manager in the Boulder Valley School District.
Your Holiness, it is such an honor to be here today. I have dedicated my life to fighting for social justice and racial equity, especially in a world where there is still so much suffering. I know that compassion and forgiveness can be more powerful than hate and anger. However, sometimes people think that when I show compassion to someone who has caused harm, that I'm condoning their behavior or not holding them accountable. My question is, how do you cultivate and promote compassion for people who cause you harm without condoning their behavior? How can justice and compassion work together?
Certainly, past has our history, not talking about our inner value. Then, under that circumstances, more forceful, or more suspicion, or self-centered attitude. You see, according to the unfortunate circumstances, such things, such practice is relevant. Now today, world much change. As I mentioned earlier, world democracy and socialist. So therefore, now, in order to you be leader, the popular support is key factor. So, warm-heartedness is the again key factor. I think, generally speaking, humanity compare past century. I think today's humanity more practical, more wiser, including some scientists now begin to feel peace of mind is something key factor. Okay.
Morang kanti shwete dirishada nyoba chenye ya zewa mala ba cheje ya nyoba chebe ke nyoba chawa dele ya donglen che tapshe karwenas chawa dele ngogo chebe na ena nyoba chenye kuran ya zewa motune che dinye mage wa che tapshe karwes.
That is, once you have a serious sort of the conviction, compassionate work. Basic human nature is more compassionate. And look back our past history. All these topple out of hatred and self-centered, very narrow, selfish mind. When we realize these things, then those people who still follow that, we can develop genuine sense of concern or sense of sympathy, such people. So these are much based on your own deeper experience and knowledge. Or then, you see those individuals, including leaders who committed a different way, especially such people, you can develop a special sense of concern, special sort of compassion. And then, this is 장den지, 랑수도 니지 상반이, with compassionate mind, honest automatically come. Compassion, cleverness cannot go together. Even temporarily, you may need some tactic, but basically, motivation, compassionate motivation. Okay. So, compassionate mind and honest, truthful always go together. Okay. Now next.
Your Holiness, it's my pleasure to introduce now John McCluskey, who is the principal at Centennial Middle School in the Boulder Valley School District.
Your Holiness, I'm deeply grateful for this opportunity. Many of the questions we've addressed so far have been from the perspectives of individual teachers and how to become more compassionate. As a longtime teacher and now school principal for many years, my question is, do you have any wisdom for a school that is interested in bringing compassion into the entire school? What are the key components that such a school needs in order to become a more compassionate school?
Now, as a matter of fact, today's, the education institution, you see, these very much oriented about intellectual education. Actually, modern education comes from West. So accept religious belief with that compassion. Otherwise, you see, the existing modern education, very much materialistic sort of view. So now we really need worldwide, benefit, worldwide concern, then sense of concern, compassion become key factor. So I often use expressing, in our education, should include one lesson about warm-heartedness, not as a religious matter, for their own, for student, both teacher, student, their own health reason. More compassionate mind automatically bring inner peace. Inner peace, very, very helpful to healthy body. So eventually, I think we can help developing new concept about education. Education very much related with warm-heartedness, like that. Okay.
Your Holiness, we have two more questions. And for the first, I would like to turn back to Professor Espinosa.
Practicing compassion asks us to pay attention to someone else's suffering. Some people might say, since our own life is full of suffering, why should we take on more suffering by thinking about other people's suffering? My question is this: how would you, Your Holiness, respond to someone who says something like this?
Now here, the genuine compassion actually the basis of determination, basis of courage. So there is no point if you truly practice genuine compassion with reason, training, then those sentient being, and particularly human being, who really are facing difficulties, extraordinary sort of suffering, then you will get more deeper sense of concern. The only thing is, teacher, the people who really passing through difficulties, so that difficulties immediate or say they overcome, no way. We have to think causes of that suffering, how to overcome that cause. That is compassionate mind with realistic wisdom. That is important. Otherwise, our compassion, like animals' compassion, animal, their friend suffering, just as they feel sense of concern. No way how to overcome this suffering. We human beings, we have this intelligence. So sense of concern brings wisdom, and that gives you inner strength, self-confidence. Okay.
Thank you.
Your Holiness, the final question comes from Brittany Rose.
As a first grade teacher, The majority of my instruction is in the foundational skills of literacy and mathematics. I have clear guidelines from both national and state level sources regarding what is best to teach young learners. Your Holiness, my question is, when it comes to compassion, what do you believe is the most important thing to teach children so that they can become more compassionate people in the world?
As I already mentioned, the student also usually loves compassionate mind with that genuine sense of responsibility. As I already mentioned, teacher who just carry lesson teaching, and the other teacher who really take care of the students' knowledge, their future, and the students, you see, really makes differences. So therefore, in education field, we should pay more attention about warm-heartedness with human intelligence combined. Okay.
Your Holiness, I want to express our deepest gratitude for this time with you and your counsel. You know, the Crown Institute was named with the love of a daughter, PC Crown, to her mother, Renee Crown. So compassion is at the heart of our work, and we are dedicated to carrying forward all of your teachings in our work and in our partnership with the Compassion Institute. And for our final words, I would like to turn now to Stephen Butler, who is the Executive Director of the Compassion Institute.
Your Holiness, I'm deeply honored to have this opportunity to say thank you to you on behalf of the Renee Crown Wellness Institute at the University of Colorado Boulder and Compassion Institute, as well as our panelist educators. We extend our deepest gratitude to you for sharing your wisdom, your inspiration, your profound advice. For decades, you have been a beacon of hope for all of humanity and a powerful voice for compassion, reminding all of us how this fundamental human quality has the power to transform our lives and the world. For many of us, especially at the Compassion Institute, your life and teaching have been a powerful source of inspiration and encouragement for our work. Your vision and your work dedicated to making compassion a central pillar in the lives of the individual, the community, and society is something we all strive to serve. We at Compassion Institute are so honored to be in partnership with the Renee Crown Wellness Institute and the University of Colorado, exploring ways to bring compassion training to K through 12 educators. With your inspiration as our guide, Your Holiness, we hope this work will instill compassion in those that serve society in one of its most important areas, the education of our future generations. May you have a long and stable life. May we all work our utmost to establish compassion as the seed, the nourishment, and the fruit of a kinder and more caring world. Thank you.
That's all right. So now, conclusion, existing education as a system pay only intelligence. Now, since this education of human being and education for happier humanity, so education must combine with education about warm-heartedness. Warm-heartedness, nothing to do, as I already mentioned, nothing to do with religious belief. Simply healthy mind, peaceful mind, So, you see, in education, now we should now include some education about how to develop happy person with happy mind. Then automatically anger is the key factor, destroyer of peace of mind. So opposite, compassion is the key factor for peace of mind. Usually fear, also you see, out of anger, more fear. More compassionate mind, more open mind, so much less fear. So, more compassionate mind really gives us inner strength, self-confidence. So, this not as a subject of religion, as I already mentioned. These are how to develop happy person full of encourage, full of confidence. So I wish, you see, those people who now participate our discussion, think more. If you have more criticism, then I think another occasion you can criticize me. If you more seriously thinking, then these points which I mentioned is something reasonable, something meaningful. Then share with more your friend and you yourself familiar this way of thinking. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all. See you again. See you again. Thank you. Thank you.